Welcome, dear listener, to Dreamtime Science, a haven of peace beneath the vast, sleeping sky. Picture yourself in a small, cozy alcove, cushions gently stacked around you, dim candles casting flickering shadows on the old wooden shelves nearby. The air is still, and outside the stars watch quietly like ancient guardians. We are grateful you've chosen to step into this hush with us. If you feel moved by the gentle tales we share, a quiet like or subscription would be a welcome echo, and please do whisper in the comments where your quiet place may be. Now, before we begin, adjust the softness beneath your head. Close your eyes if you wish, and fill your lungs with a deep, slow breath. Together we will embark on a tender voyage where science takes on the silky cloak of night, inviting your thoughts to rest and your imagination to soar gently toward sleep. Shall we begin? As twilight whispers goodnight to the sun, let us embark on a serene journey into the enigmatic realm of slumber. In tonight's episode, we will explore the compelling question, why do we sleep? With the moon as our guide and the stars as our companions, let's nestle in the soft folds of this enduring mystery as we gently glide into the world of dreams and the science that cradles them. Your support through likes and subscriptions keeps this peaceful corner of knowledge illuminated. Share your time zone in the comments. I love mapping our constellation of dreamers. Before we begin, create your sanctuary. Nestle into your chosen spot, let your muscles soften, and allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. It is well known, though often underestimated, that sleep is one of the most fundamental processes that our bodies perform, an essential, recurring state that influences almost every aspect of our physical and mental well-being. Over the years, scientists have unraveled many of the mysteries surrounding sleep, yet it still carries a sense of quiet magic, a deeply restorative pause in the continuous hum of life. To understand sleep is to begin a gentle exploration into the rhythms of the body and mind, a journey revealing how intricately connected our biology is with the world around us and within us. At its core, sleep is a reversible state of reduced consciousness, characterized by decreased mobility and a unique pattern of brain activity. Unlike unconsciousness from injury or anesthesia, sleep happens naturally and cyclically. It is not just a simple off switch, but rather a complex dynamic process featuring shifts through various stages, each with its own biological importance and characteristics. Though it might feel passive, sleeping is actually a highly active and structured phenomenon. We cycle through sleep roughly every 90 to 110 minutes during a typical night, moving through several stages broadly categorized into two types, non-rapid eye movement or NREM sleep, and rapid eye movement or REM sleep. Let us start by understanding these stages more closely. Non-rapid eye movement sleep is subdivided into three stages, often labeled N1, N2, and N3, which represent progressively deeper states of sleep. Stage N1, the lightest phase, acts as a gentle bridge between wakefulness and sleep. During this period, the brain's activity begins to slow from its daytime patterns, producing mostly theta waves, slow and rhythmic electrical oscillations that indicate a relaxed but still somewhat alert brain. Muscles relax and your heart rate and breathing start to slow slightly. It's quite normal to experience fleeting sensations, such as the feeling of falling or random twitches during this stage. Most importantly, the senses become less receptive to external disturbances, making it easier for the body to enter a more profound serenity. As you move further into stage N2, brain waves continue to slow, but are interrupted by brief bursts of rapid activity known as sleep spindles, along with K-complexes, which are large hormone-like waves connected to sensory processing and memory consolidation. This stage typically makes up nearly half of the total sleep cycle. It is a phase where the body begins to stabilize vital functions. Heart rate becomes regular, body temperature drops slightly, and the muscles relax even more profoundly. N2 sleep is essential for overall physiological balance, helping the brain to sort experiences and prepare for deeper repair. Eventually, stage N3 sleep is reached, often described as deep sleep or slow wave sleep, because it features delta waves, large, slow electrical waves that indicate synchronized brain activity. This is the most restorative stage of sleep, where the body shifts into maximum recovery mode. Growth hormone levels rise, facilitating tissue repair and muscle growth, and the immune system strengthens its defenses. Breathing slows substantially and blood pressure drops, enabling the heart and other organs to rest. If you have ever woken up feeling disoriented or groggy, chances are it was because you were interrupted during this deep sleep phase. Importantly, this stage plays a crucial role in memory consolidation, mood regulation, and maintaining cognitive functions, laying the foundation for mental clarity and emotional resilience. After spending this time in deep sleep, the brain transitions out of NREM sleep and enters the intriguing stage of REM sleep. REM is characterized by rapid darting movements of the eyes beneath closed eyelids, hence its name. Despite the body being mostly paralyzed, a curious state caused by protective mechanisms to prevent acting out dreams, the brain's activity increases, resembling the wakeful state in many ways. This stage is often when vivid dreams occur, and it has fascinated scientists for decades due to its mysterious connection to memory, creativity, and emotional processing. The first REM period is usually brief, lasting just a few minutes, but as the night progresses, REM phases lengthen substantially, sometimes composing up to 25% of total sleep time by morning. During REM sleep, the brain consolidates procedural and emotional memories, meaning it helps us learn skills and deals with challenging feelings. Some studies have even suggested its involvement in solving problems creatively, allowing the mind to organize fragments of knowledge in novel ways. We spend about a quarter to a third of our lives in this remarkable rhythmic dance of sleep stages, cycling between NREM and REM multiple times each night. This orchestration is led by the brain's master clock, known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN, a tiny structure nestled deep in the hypothalamus. It regulates our circadian rhythm, the roughly 24-hour cycle that synchronizes our physiological functions with the light-dark cycle of the environment around us. Melatonin, often called the sleep hormone, rises in the evening to gently coax the body into sleepiness, while cortisol helps stimulate alertness in the morning. The interplay of these hormones, light exposure and neural signals creates a delicate balance that aligns our rest with the external world. It is often underestimated how vital sleep is beyond feeling rested. Scientific research consistently shows that poor sleep quality or insufficient sleep, not just quantity, has profound impacts on health. To explore these effects quietly, let us consider the body as a complex system where sleep serves multiple critical roles. One of the primary functions of sleep is to facilitate physical restoration. When we rest, the body ramps up repair mechanisms, healing damaged tissues and producing new cells. For example, during deep NREM sleep, the pituitary gland secretes growth hormone, which stimulates muscle repair and bone strengthening. This is why athletes and physically active individuals benefit tremendously from consistent, high-quality sleep. Even everyday wear and tear on skin and internal organs is partly repaired at night, maintaining cellular health and resilience. Sleep contributes extensively to the immune system too. While awake, our immune defenses operate, but nighttime rest gives the system time to bolster its response to threats, creating antibodies and ramping up disease-fighting cells. Without adequate sleep, the immune system becomes sluggish, increasing vulnerability to infections and slowing recovery. From a neurological perspective, sleep plays a pivotal role in memory consolidation. During our waking hours, we take in a myriad of new information, from sweeping news to small moments. While the brain initially encodes these experiences, it is during sleep that these memories are sorted, processed, and ultimately integrated into long-term storage. This thoughtful reorganization not only solidifies what we have learned, but helps the brain decide what is important to keep and what can be discarded. REM sleep in particular is linked to emotional memory and creative problem solving, allowing us to mentally file not only facts but feelings. Moreover, sleep has a profound impact on emotional health. Chronic lack of sleep or poor sleep quality has been shown to increase the risk of mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. Restorative sleep helps regulate the balance of neurotransmitters, brain chemicals responsible for mood and emotional response, quieting stress sensitivity and enhancing resilience to daily challenges. It's as if restful sleep smooths the emotional landscape, making life's hurdles easier to navigate. Cognitive functions such as attention, decision-making, and learning are also finely tuned by sleep. When sleep is disrupted, the ability to focus and perform complex mental tasks sharply declines. Reaction times slow, alertness fades, and the efficiency of neural networks diminishes. Thus, sleep is not just a pause, but the engine allowing the mind to operate at peak capacity. Consider, as well, the homeostatic and circadian regulation of sleep. Homeostatic sleep pressure is a biological drive that builds the longer we stay awake, signaling the need to rest. This pressure is a result of accumulating adenosine, a molecule that acts as a kind of sleep generator in the brain. As adenosine levels rise, sleepiness grows. During sleep, adenosine is cleared away, allowing the cycle to restart. Circadian rhythms, meanwhile, influence when we feel sleepy or alert, coordinating with light cues to promote sleep at night and wakefulness during the day. There is no single correct amount of sleep that applies universally to all people, though general guidelines suggest adults require between 7 to 9 hours per night. Variability exists, influenced by genetic factors, lifestyle, age, and individual health. For example, infants and children need much more sleep to support rapid brain and body development, while older adults sometimes experience changes in sleep patterns, often requiring less total sleep but more fragmented rest. Interestingly, the quality of sleep can be affected by numerous factors, including environment, stress, diet, and routine. Creating a sleep-friendly setting involves reducing noise, limiting artificial light exposure before bedtime, and maintaining consistent sleep-wake schedules. Avoiding stimulants such as caffeine or heavy meals close to bedtime also aids in smoother transitions into deep, uninterrupted sleep. Throughout history and across cultures, sleep has been recognized as a vital part of life, often surrounded by rituals and beliefs. Modern science has only recently begun to appreciate the intricate and multifaceted nature of sleep, revealing it to be a carefully regulated process with far-reaching consequences for health and longevity. In sum, sleep is a beautiful, rhythmic state marked by cycles of varied brain activity and physiological changes. It is during sleep that the body rejuvenates, the immune system strengthens, memories are reorganized, and emotions are balanced. Far from being a mere pause in consciousness, sleep is a dynamic, active period that prepares us to meet the next day with resilience and clarity. Understanding the basics of sleep, the stages it comprises, its governing rhythms, and its essential functions, allows us to respect and prioritize this vital dimension of life with greater wisdom. As you lay down each night, welcoming the gradual descent into sleep, remember that this time is not simply rest, but an essential journey through the landscapes of your brain and body. In this journey, your systems reconnect, your cells renew, and your mind transforms pieces of experience into shape and meaning. Sleep, in this sense, is a quiet miracle happening repeatedly within you, a gentle but profound rebalance that underlies the health and essence of your being. And in honoring sleep, we honor life itself. Sleep is one of those mysterious and essential parts of our lives, a natural rhythm that we all follow, whether we realize it or not. We spend about a third of our lives in a state of sleep, yet scientists have long pondered a fundamental question: why do we sleep at all? It might seem simple at first. Perhaps it is just rest, a pause after the day's work, but digging deeper reveals a rich tapestry of ideas and discoveries that help to unfold the many purposes of sleep. Today, let's explore some of the primary theories that have been proposed to explain this universal behavior, theories that focus both on physical restoration and the intricate workings of the brain. One of the oldest and most intuitive theories is called the restorative theory of sleep, which, as its name suggests, centers on the idea that sleep is an essential period for the body to repair and rejuvenate itself. Consider how during waking hours our body undergoes wear and tear. Our muscles tire, tissues can get minor injuries, and, at the cellular level, biochemical processes generate waste products that need to be cleared away. Sleep is thought to provide an opportunity for the body to undergo maintenance. For example, during sleep, especially deep stages known as slow-wave sleep, the body increases blood flow to muscles and tissues, promoting the repair of muscle fibers. Growth hormone, a key substance involved in tissue regeneration and muscle growth, is released in higher quantities during sleep. Moreover, on a cellular level, recent scientific discoveries have shed light on the brain's waste clearance system, known as the glymphatic system. This system functions much like a plumbing network, flushing away metabolic waste products that accumulate during waking hours. Scientists have found this process is markedly more efficient during sleep than when awake. The buildup of such waste includes substances like beta-amyloid, a protein that, when accumulated excessively, is linked to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. This cleaning process during sleep might explain why insufficient sleep can have long-term adverse effects on brain health. It's as though sleep offers our bodies and brains a chance to reset, clearing out the debris so that we function well the next day. While the body is busy cleaning and repairing, the brain itself seems to be engaged in a crucial set of activities. One of the most fascinating ideas about the purpose of sleep relates not just to resting, but to what the brain does during this quiet time. This brings us to what might be called the brain plasticity theory of sleep. Brain plasticity refers to the brain's remarkable ability to change its structure and function in response to experiences. It is the foundation of learning and memory, permitting us to adapt to new environments, learn new information, and recover from injuries. Sleep appears deeply intertwined with this process. During sleep, particularly during rapid eye movement, REM sleep, and some phases of non-REM sleep, the brain actively consolidates memories and processes information gathered throughout the day. This doesn't merely mean that the brain passively stores facts. It actually reorganizes and strengthens the neural connections that embody those memories. Imagine that every experience you have creates patterns of electrical activity and connections between neurons, and during sleep these patterns are played back, refined, and solidified. One helpful image is that of sleep acting like an editor or a gardener. It prunes unnecessary or weak connections, making the important pathways stronger and more efficient. This selective process improves learning and allows the brain to optimize its network, enhancing cognitive functions. Experiments with animals and humans have shown that after learning a new task, there is an increase in specific brain activity during subsequent sleep related to the areas involved in that task. This strongly supports the idea that sleep is crucial in transforming short-term memories into stable long-term memories. Interestingly, not all sleep stages contribute equally to this process. Slow-wave sleep, dominated by deep synchronized brain waves, is thought especially important for consolidating declarative memories, those things we can consciously recall like facts and events. REM sleep, characterized by rapid eye movements and more desynchronized brain activity similar to wakefulness, appears vital for consolidating procedural or emotional memories. REM sleep is also associated with dreaming, an area still filled with some mystery, but many scientists believe that dreams may reflect the brain's processing and integration of emotional experiences. There is also a theory connected to brain plasticity called the synaptic homeostasis hypothesis. This proposes that during waking hours, as we interact with the world, the brain's neurons form more and stronger synaptic connections to encode new experiences. But this relentless growth of synapses cannot continue indefinitely. It would make the brain too heavy metabolically and less efficient. Sleep, particularly slow-wave sleep, may provide a way to downscale synaptic strength in a proportional manner, trimming away unnecessary growth while preserving the most salient and meaningful changes. This process maintains balance, prevents overload, and keeps the brain functioning optimally. Putting these two theories, the restoration of the body and the plasticity of the brain, together gives us a more complete picture of why sleep is so vital. It supports the body's physical health while also maintaining and enhancing the brain's incredible capacity for learning and adaptation. Another interesting viewpoint comes from considering sleep as a form of energy conservation. On the surface, this may seem redundant with restoration, but it delves a bit deeper into evolution and survival strategy. Think about animals and their daily activities. Being active all the time can use up scarce resources like food and water. Sleep reduces energy demands by lowering the body's metabolic rate. The heart beats slower, body temperature drops slightly, and muscles relax. In this sense, sleep acts like a carefully timed power-saving mode, allowing organisms to survive times of low resource availability. This idea connects smoothly with a broader biological approach called the adaptive inactivity theory. This suggests that sleep serves as a strategy for survival by keeping animals inactive and out of harm's way during periods when they are most vulnerable or least efficient. Nocturnal animals sleep during the day to avoid predators and heat stress, while diurnal animals rest at night. It makes sense that by programming periods of sleep, animals reduce risks of injury or predation during times when their sensory abilities or mobility might be compromised. Yet another theory worth mentioning involves brain detoxification and immune function. Sleep appears linked to strengthening the immune system, helping to fight infections and regulate immune responses. While awake, the body's defenses are active but can become overtaxed. Sleep provides a time during which the body can focus energy on immune activities such as producing cytokines, specialized proteins that help combat infection or inflammation. Without adequate sleep, the immune system weakens, which is why chronic sleep deprivation can increase susceptibility to disease. This dovetails with growing research into the relationship between sleep and mental health. Poor quality or insufficient sleep is associated with higher risks of anxiety, depression, and mood disorders. Scientists believe this is partly because sleep modulates brain chemicals, stress hormones, and neural circuits involved in regulating emotions. We must also consider the evolutionary origins of sleep when reflecting on these theories. Sleep, or something very similar to it, is found in all animals with a nervous system. From the smallest invertebrates to humans, some form of sleep or rest state occurs. This suggests it confers deep biological advantages. As life evolved, the specifics of sleep changed. Its duration, timing, brain activity patterns, adapting to the species' ecological niche and lifestyle. For humans, sleep's role encompasses many of these theories simultaneously. Our complex brains and bodies require a finely tuned balance of restoration, learning, immune health, energy regulation, and safety. Modern science continues to explore this balance, recognizing that sleep is not just a passive state, but an active, dynamic process, critical for health, cognition, and survival. Though these theories emphasize different aspects, they are by no means mutually exclusive. Instead, they complement one another, collectively helping us understand why sleep is such a fundamental biological function. We might say that sleep is a multifaceted phenomenon, a time for physical restoration, a period for brain optimization through plasticity and memory consolidation, an energy-saving strategy, an immune booster, and a safeguard against environmental dangers. All of this happens without any conscious effort. We simply close our eyes, lie still, and enter the world of sleep. Behind the scenes, the body and brain are engaged in remarkable processes, quietly performing tasks essential to our well-being. This elegant orchestration is why getting enough quality sleep is so crucial. It is not a luxury or an indulgence, but a necessity etched into our biology. So the next time you find yourself drifting off, you might take comfort in knowing that your body is repairing its tissues, your brain is reorganizing memories and learning, and your immune system is recalibrating. Sleep is not an absence of activity, but a different kind of work, subtle and profound. It stands as one of nature's most fascinating mysteries, unfolding every night and waking us to a new day refreshed and renewed. Perhaps in time, science will reveal even more secrets of sleep, but for now, these theories give us a rich and humbling appreciation of why this quiet, nightly ritual is so essential to all living creatures. In many ways, sleep is a gentle teacher, guiding us toward health and knowledge in ways that waking life alone cannot provide. Let us embrace sleep's gifts fully, recognizing it as an indispensable part of our journey through life. With that understanding, peaceful slumber becomes not just a chance to rest, but a beautiful, vital process, one that repairs, renews, and prepares us to face the world again. Sleep, that mysterious and gentle state that wraps us each night in its quiet embrace, has fascinated humans for centuries. We've known for a long time that sleep is essential, but many of its secrets remain elusive even now. Today, science continues to unravel these mysteries, using ever more sophisticated tools to peek into the brain and the body as they transition into slumber. Recent research is illuminating not just why we sleep, but how the brain organizes this vital process, and how sleep interacts with nearly every aspect of our health. There is much to explore, so let us settle into this calm investigation together, gently unfolding what modern science has discovered about sleep. One of the most captivating advances in sleep research comes from the study of brain waves during different sleep stages. Sleep isn't a uniform state. It cycles through phases of light sleep, deep sleep, and rapid eye movement, known as REM sleep. These stages are characterized by distinctive patterns of electrical activity in the brain, which neuroscientists measure with tools like electroencephalography or EEG. In the early parts of the night, deep sleep predominates, marked by slow, high-amplitude brain waves called delta waves. These slow oscillations are thought to facilitate the restoration of the brain and body. Gradually, the sleep cycles transition to longer periods of REM, during which the brain shows fast, low-amplitude waves that resemble waking activity. Recent research has begun to reveal the functional significance of these brainwave patterns. For instance, slow-wave sleep seems to play a crucial role in memory consolidation. Memories formed during the day are believed to be replayed during these slow oscillations, allowing the brain to transfer and stabilize them from temporary storage in the hippocampus to the long-term storage in the cortex. This process ensures that the information is more permanently encoded, which helps us learn and remember. Researchers have observed this by recording the activity in animals' brains during sleep, seeing patterns that mirror daytime experiences repeating in a compressed form. Studies in humans employing brain stimulation techniques to enhance slow waves have shown improvements in memory performance, strengthening the idea that deep sleep is a key player in learning. Alongside this cognitive aspect, slow-wave sleep is instrumental in physical restoration. During this phase, the body lowers its metabolic rate and releases growth hormone, promoting tissue repair and immune system function. Scientists have found that poor deep sleep correlates with impaired immune responses and slower recovery from illness. This connection is becoming increasingly clear as research uncovers links between disrupted sleep and vulnerability to infections or inflammation. Switching to REM sleep, whose name comes from the flickering movements of the eyes beneath closed eyelids, scientists have pondered its purpose for decades. REM sleep is frequently associated with dreaming, a rich sensory and emotional experience that puzzles researchers and lay people alike. Current studies suggest that REM may be essential for emotional regulation and creativity. During REM stages, the brain appears to process unresolved emotional experiences and stress, working to mitigate anxiety and mood disturbances. Evidence comes from observations that people deprived specifically of REM sleep tend to become irritable and have difficulty managing emotions. Moreover, REM sleep seems to foster novel associations, potentially underlying creativity and insight. The unique neurochemistry of REM, marked by elevated acetylcholine and suppressed norepinephrine, may provide a fertile environment for exploring complex emotional and cognitive patterns. While understanding what happens during sleep is important, another frontier of research is deciphering how sleep itself is regulated. The human body follows roughly a 24-hour cycle, the circadian rhythm, which orchestrates changes in sleepiness and alertness. This rhythm is driven by an internal clock located in a part of the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN, found within the hypothalamus. The SCN receives signals from the retina about the presence or absence of light, using this information to synchronize bodily functions to the day-night cycle. Abnormalities in this clock can lead to sleep disorders such as delayed sleep phase syndrome or advanced sleep phase syndrome, where individuals fall asleep or wake too early relative to social expectations. But there is another process at work besides the circadian rhythm, sleep homeostasis. This is a pressure system that builds the longer one stays awake, creating increasing drive to fall asleep, which reduces during sleep itself. A fascinating molecule involved in this process is adenosine, a byproduct of cellular activity that accumulates in the brain during wakefulness. As adenosine binds to its receptors, it slows neural activity, encouraging sleepiness. Caffeine blocks these receptors, temporarily reducing sleep pressure and promoting wakefulness. Recent research is delving into other molecules and pathways that participate in this homeostatic system, revealing a complex biochemical network that integrates signals of cellular and neural fatigue with behavioral readiness for sleep. Intriguingly, scientists have also uncovered that sleep is not just a single undifferentiated state, but may involve local regulation within the brain. This means that while parts of the brain may enter deep sleep, others remain relatively alert. Studies using EEG in animals have demonstrated local sleep, where regions of the cortex display slow waves even while the animal is awake, often in response to previous intense use or fatigue of specific circuits. Similarly, humans show evidence of local sleep during waking hours, which may explain phenomena such as microsleeps or lapses in attention after prolonged wakefulness. Understanding local sleep regulation may one day help us find strategies to maintain alertness or optimize rest more precisely. Moving beyond the brain alone, sleep researchers are increasingly aware that sleep influences and is influenced by bodily systems in profound ways. For example, the glymphatic system, a recently discovered network of channels in the brain, becomes active mainly during sleep. This system uses cerebrospinal fluid to wash away metabolic wastes like beta-amyloid proteins that accumulate throughout the day. The clearance of such waste is thought to be an important factor in preventing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Imaging studies in both animals and humans have shown that glymphatic activity peaks during deep sleep, highlighting why uninterrupted sleep may be crucial for long-term brain health. Another aspect of ongoing research concerns how sleep affects metabolism and the endocrine system. Sleep deprivation has been shown to disrupt glucose metabolism, decrease insulin sensitivity, and alter hormone levels involved in appetite regulation, such as leptin and ghrelin. These disruptions can promote weight gain and increase the risk for diabetes. The interactions are complex, but growing evidence points to a bidirectional relationship. Poor sleep contributes to metabolic disorders, and metabolic imbalances impair sleep quality. This intimate link places sleep at the center of broader health concerns related to obesity and cardiovascular disease. Shift work and modern lifestyles that disrupt natural sleep timing have become the focus of public health research. Studies have found significant adverse effects on health, cognitive function, and emotional well-being among those who frequently experience circadian misalignment. The precise mechanisms remain under investigation, but it appears that disruptions in the synchronization of peripheral clocks found in organs like the liver and heart with the central SCN clock lead to metabolic and physiological dysfunction. Some promising research suggests that timed exposure to light or strategic feeding schedules may help realign these clocks and mitigate risks. Perhaps one of the most exciting areas of current sleep science is the exploration of how sleep might be manipulated to improve health or cognitive function. Researchers are testing various techniques, including targeted brain stimulation, auditory cues timed to enhance slow-wave activity, pharmacological agents, and behavioral interventions. For example, sounds delivered at slow-wave frequencies during deep sleep have been shown to boost memory consolidation in some studies. Other research is investigating how to safely enhance REM sleep or improve sleep quality in patients with conditions such as PTSD or depression. These emerging therapeutic approaches offer hope for harnessing sleep's restorative powers more effectively. Advances in wearable technology and home sleep monitoring are also transforming how sleep research is conducted in natural settings. Instead of relying solely on sleep labs equipped with polysomnography, scientists can now collect massive amounts of sleep data from large populations in everyday contexts. This approach allows for a better understanding of how sleep patterns vary with lifestyle, environment, and genetics, ultimately helping to develop personalized recommendations for optimal sleep hygiene. It also raises fascinating questions about how our sleep might adapt or maladapt in response to modern demands. A particularly intriguing discovery concerns the genetics of sleep. Although we all share fundamental sleep architecture, genetic differences influence individual sleep needs and vulnerabilities. Some people naturally require less sleep than others, while others are more sensitive to sleep deprivation. Advances in genomics have identified specific genes that affect sleep duration, timing, and disorders such as narcolepsy or insomnia. For example, mutations in the hypocretin orexin system, a network of neurons involved in wakefulness, have been linked to narcolepsy, a condition characterized by sudden sleep attacks. Understanding the genetic components underlying sleep regulation opens possibilities for custom-tailored treatments and interventions. Even the evolutionary origins of sleep continue to captivate researchers. Comparative studies across species reveal a striking diversity in sleep patterns and brain activity during sleep. Some marine mammals and birds can sleep with only one hemisphere of the brain at a time in a phenomenon called unihemispheric sleep, allowing them to remain partially alert while resting. This adaptation may serve as protection from predators or facilitate navigation during long flights. Studying these variations sheds light on why sleep evolved and its fundamental biological roles. It suggests sleep is not a fixed state, but a flexible suite of behaviors adapted to particular ecological niches and needs. Throughout these exciting developments, one idea remains clear. Sleep is an active, dynamic process indispensable for life. It is far more than mere rest or inactivity. It is a carefully orchestrated interplay of neural, biochemical, and physiological events with wide-ranging effects. Understanding sleep's mechanisms helps to illuminate the nature of consciousness, the workings of the brain, and the intricate connections between body and mind. So, as you settle into the quiet stillness of night, you can appreciate the remarkable processes unfolding within. Deep waves ripple gently through your cerebral cortex, clearing out daily clutter and strengthening memory threads. Your glymphatic system hums softly, washing away metabolic waste to protect the brain's delicate neurons. Hormones pulse in their rhythmic dance, restoring tissues and resetting systems. Even the hidden genetic clockworks tick steadily, keeping you in harmony with the natural cycles that govern life on Earth. Scientists around the world continue to explore this nocturnal frontier, using advanced imaging, molecular biology, and computational models to piece together the puzzle. Each new discovery enriches our understanding and brings practical benefits, from treatments for sleep disorders to insights that may improve learning or emotional health. Yet many questions remain open, inviting curiosity and wonder. Why do dreams occur in REM sleep? How exactly does sleep help creativity? Can we reliably enhance certain types of sleep to gain specific advantages? What is certain, though, is that sleep is deeply woven into what it means to be human. It is simultaneously vulnerable and resilient, a private sanctuary and a universal necessity. The very act of sleeping each night reconnects us to rhythms far older than ourselves, a shared heritage with every living creature that rests. In this peaceful surrender, the brain and body renew themselves, ready to greet the dawn with restored vitality. So, as you drift deeper towards your own night of rest, remember this: sleep is a profound and elegant process, glowing quietly beneath the surface of consciousness. It is a nightly gift, an essential guardian of health and mind that scientists are just beginning to fully appreciate. May this knowledge soothe you, inspire gentle wonder, and accompany you into tranquil dreams, where the mysteries of sleep unfold silently beneath the stars. Sleep is one of those extraordinary experiences that connects us all, organisms of many kinds, across the vast tapestry of life. It is a state we enter every night, yet one that continues to retain a veil of mystery, even after centuries of careful study. Having explored how sleep cycles through stages, the remarkable physiological changes it induces, and the profound roles it plays in memory, healing, and brain function, we now find ourselves at a crossroads. What, then, do these understandings mean for us in our daily lives? What questions remain unanswered, and how might future research deepen our insight? As we settle into this quieter reflection, let us consider the broader implications and gentle mysteries of sleep. To start, perhaps it is worth reminding ourselves that sleep is not merely a passive resting state, a time when the brain and body simply shut down. Instead, sleep is an active, dynamic process. Throughout the night, our brains cycle through different patterns of activity. The earliest research detected two main types: non-rapid eye movement, NREM, sleep when the brain exhibits slow, synchronized waves and the body finds deep restorative stillness, and rapid eye movement, REM, sleep, characterized by quick, irregular brain waves and vivid dreams. Both are fundamental, collaborating in a nuanced choreography that shapes our physical and mental well-being. The implications of that choreography extend deeply into our waking lives. Consider the role of sleep in memory consolidation, for example. When we acquire new knowledge, whether a practical skill or a complex concept, the brain does not simply file it away like a book on a shelf. Instead, during certain stages of sleep, primarily slow-wave sleep in the NREM phase, the brain actively replays neural patterns formed during waking hours. This rehearsal strengthens the neural connections, weaving fresh information into the tapestry of long-term memory. In essence, sleep provides the setting in which the mind organizes experience, discards irrelevant details, and enhances creativity by allowing associative connections to flourish. At first glance, this might seem like a luxury, an optional upgrade available only in well-regulated settings. Yet the expanse of evidence reveals the contrary. Sleep is a biological necessity woven into the fabric of life. Even creatures as diverse as fruit flies, dolphins, and elephants exhibit forms of sleep, sometimes including unusual adaptations like unihemispheric sleep, where one hemisphere of the brain rests while the other remains alert. This universality suggests that sleep serves foundational purposes that evolution has preserved over millions of years because they confer survival benefits. Perhaps most intriguing are the unanswered questions that persist despite the leaps in scientific knowledge. For instance, why does the brain require REM sleep if it is such an energetically expensive state? It accounts for only about 20–25% of total sleep, but is remarkably consistent across mammals and birds. One hypothesis is that REM sleep supports emotional regulation and memory integration, providing a safe neural space to process complex social and environmental information. Another suggests that some forms of brain plasticity, our brain's ability to adapt and change, occur predominantly during this phase, yet the precise mechanisms remain under active investigation. Additionally, the mystery deepens when we consider the functions of certain brain regions during sleep. The glymphatic system, a recently discovered waste clearance pathway, becomes especially active during NREM sleep. This system flushes out harmful proteins and metabolic byproducts accumulated during waking hours. One of these substances, beta amyloid, is implicated in Alzheimer's disease. The implication here is profound. Adequate sleep may be a protective factor in neurodegeneration. Yet, how precisely sleep regulates glymphatic function, and how this interacts with neurodegenerative processes over decades remains to be fully charted. Even more subtle is the relationship between sleep and immune function. While it could be tempting to regard sleep as a passive downtime, research clarifies that sleep modulates immune defenses, influencing how our bodies fight infection and inflammation. During sleep, production of cytokines, protein molecules critical in immune responses, increases. Conversely, sleep deprivation can lead to impaired immune function and higher susceptibility to illness. This interplay hints at a feedback loop where physical health, immunity, and sleep quality are intimately entwined. Understanding these biological subtleties invites us to reflect on how modern lifestyles may challenge sleep's benefits. Our increasingly 24/7 world, with its electric lights, digital screens, and around-the-clock activities, profoundly impacts natural sleep patterns. Exposure to artificial blue light in the evening can disrupt circadian rhythms, our internal clocks governed by the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the hypothalamus. These rhythms regulate not only sleep-wake cycles but also hormone release, metabolism, and core body temperature. When these rhythms fall out of sync, it may lead to difficulties initiating and maintaining sleep, reduced sleep quality, and long-term health consequences such as metabolic disorders or mood disturbances. A particularly significant finding emerges when considering chronic sleep deprivation. Unlike acute sleep loss, which might cause temporary grogginess, ongoing insufficient sleep affects cognitive function, emotional well-being, cardiovascular health, and metabolic regulation. Studies reveal links between reduced sleep duration and increased risk for obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and even certain types of cancer. Thus, Sleep is not merely a refuge for tired minds, it is a pillar of public health, deserving of attention comparable to nutrition and exercise. This insight has practical implications for individuals and societies alike. As we prioritize work, education, and social engagement, sleep often becomes neglected or sacrificed. However, the science underscores the counterproductivity of such choices. Poor sleep quality can impair attention, decision-making, and mood regulation, each of these skills underpinning success, safety, and happiness. In contrast, sound sleepers tend to exhibit sharper cognitive skills, more stable emotional states, and better physical resilience. So, what might this mean for the ways we structure our daily lives? It suggests a gentle yet profound recalibration of priorities. Building a sleep-friendly environment involves respecting the natural timing of our bodies. Regular sleep schedules aligned with natural light-dark cycles promote healthy circadian rhythms. Minimizing screen exposure before bedtime and creating calming pre-sleep routines, such as reading, mindfulness, or gentle stretching, may support the onset of restful sleep. Ensuring bedrooms are cool, dark, and quiet further cultivates an ideal sleep environment. Workplaces and schools might also take these lessons to heart. Evidence from studies on teenage sleep patterns, for example, suggests later school start times align better with adolescent biological clocks, improving academic performance and emotional health. In professional settings, encouraging flexible schedules and breaks can reduce fatigue and enhance productivity. These are subtle shifts, yet ones that honor the fundamental biology of sleep rather than working against it. Looking ahead, the quest for deeper understanding continues. Advances in neuroimaging technology, molecular biology, and genetics offer new windows into the sleep process. Scientists are exploring how specific genes influence vulnerability to sleep disorders, individual differences in sleep architecture, and resilience to sleep deprivation. Such research could one day enable personalized medicine approaches to optimize sleep health. Moreover, new frontiers beckon beyond human sleep. Some animals with unique sleep patterns, such as cetaceans that sleep with one brain hemisphere at a time, or migratory birds that reduce sleep durations dramatically during flights, offer natural experiments. Studying these creatures may reveal strategies to mitigate the effects of sleep loss and illuminate fundamental principles of sleep regulation. At a deeper level, sleep research intersects with philosophical questions about consciousness and the mind. The transitions between wakefulness, non-REM, and REM sleep stages challenge our definitions of awareness and selfhood. Dreams, particularly vivid during REM, might provide clues about how the brain simulates and integrates emotional experiences. Unraveling these mysteries could one day expand our understanding of mental health, creativity, and human experience itself. As this reflection draws to a close, it is fitting to acknowledge the humble wonder that sleep evokes. It is an everyday miracle, a biological rhythm essential to life's balance. Each night, as our bodies descend into quietude, complex processes of restoration and renewal unfurl beneath our awareness. Therein lies a promise. The next day, our minds are lighter, our memories clearer, our bodies more resilient, all thanks to the unseen work performed while the world outside darkens. In honoring sleep, we honor the delicate interplay of biology, environment, and experience, a relationship that nurtures not only our physical survival, but also the richness of our inner lives. May this awareness guide us kindly as we seek to embrace the gift of rest, trusting that within the depths of our nightly slumber, the mysteries of life continue to unfold in silent, majestic symphony. As our exploration into the enigmatic dance of sleep drifts to a close, we find ourselves under a blanket of questions, as comforting as the hush of cosmic silence. Let these mysteries twirl in your mind like distant galaxies, inviting you to dream deeper. Tomorrow, under the soft glow of a moonbeam, we will unravel more Dreamtime tales, floating in the infinite sea of knowledge.